Gary, 1-0 defeat to Cliftonville here at Solitude. Just give us your thoughts.
You probably rewind the interview for the last 3 weeks. No, listen. We rode the storm first 15 minutes. They came out really sharp, and we expected that. They're a really good side, and even last week, I suppose, watching the game against Lauren, they had 2 big chances in the first 5 minutes. When if they had taken them, the game could have been very different. We spoke about it again. It's about when teams get on top of us. It's about riding that storm and doing whatever it takes to ride the storm. And again, unfortunately, I felt we grew into the game defensively, not in terms of offence in the first 20 minutes, but we still feel that we've made 2-3 mistakes to lead to the concession of the goal that ultimately defines the game, and that's the frustrating thing. It's trying to cut out the mistakes at the back to then take a chance in front of goal the other side, and unfortunately at the minute in both boxes we're sort of making errors in both, conceding chances and probably converting our own.
Yeah, there were a lot of chances in both halves, particularly the first half. Their keepers pulled off 2 or 3 very good saves, and then Lorcan has that sort of free effort in the edge of the box that he puts wide. I mean, we've talked about it before, that when you're on top in games, when you have spells in games, about converting those into goals. I mean, are there still positives to take from the you matched them in a lot of departments out of that?
Absolutely, and it's good that everybody can see that, and we're not watching games with blinkers, and I certainly don't ever try to do that. We call a spade a spade. We weren't at it for the first 15 minutes. The game could have been out of sight, but when it wasn't, I felt that we grew into the game really well. And as you said, I think the first half could have been 3 each and nobody could have complained, but the unfortunate thing for us is that their keeper has probably had a couple of good saves, and we didn't make the most of the opportunities that we had. Then going into the second half, nothing really happened, I suppose. But we were in the game, and we always wanted to be in the game, but then the pressure comes in injury time, and unfortunately we're not able to really carve out an opening to create that goal scoring opportunity.
In terms of, we talked about the Cliftonville goalkeeper with Tom Murphy, obviously he's taken the penalty shootout, sort of saves from Carrick in midweek, and had a really solid game there today. I mean, you pleased with his performance?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can't take confidence from saving 3 and putting somebody off to miss a 4th penalty, as a goalkeeper, you could never. Listen, we're really happy that Tom played well today. We still have 2 very good goalkeepers at the club, and it's like all over the pitch. We're searching for that wee bit to change our luck, or whatever that might be. That sort of, we're trying things to try to get the right formula to churn the momentum and try to change that and force results.
In terms of that word momentum that you used, well, it's difficult to take momentum from defeats, but at the same time, in terms of taking momentum from performances, obviously the main thing is to take that into what is, even at this early stage of the season, a huge game away to Dungannon next week. Yeah,
it's huge, and there's no getting away from the occasion next week. And as good as the performances have been against the better sides, we ultimately can't fall flat next week, because if we are not on it and more, we'll not get a result next week either. So there's pressure on next week, because we haven't been able to chip away at a couple of points against these bigger sides. But we are happy with the level of performance that the players are delivering. It probably goes out the window next week, because everybody will be eyes on the result, and both clubs will feel that it's an opportunity to get a result, and we have to be on it to deliver, and we'll be preparing diligently this week for Dungannon, who are a good side as well. They've taken points off the top 6 sides, so Rodney's probably frustrated in that they haven't been able to pick up wins against the teams in and around them. They beat Cliftonville in the cup as well. So listen, they're a really good side, and possibly they'll be thinking they shouldn't be where they are in the table like ourselves, but the table doesn't lie, and results don't lie. So we know the importance of the game going into it.
Just lastly, Kieran O'Connor had to go off just before half time. I mean, what's at very early stages yet, but he looked in a wee bit of distress there. I mean, is there any sort of early diagnosis there?
No, as you say, he looks in a lot of pain. He was in full flow, and he pulled up with a sharp pain in the hamstring, and without being medically trained, I don't think that's good. Kieran obviously came back into the team and played 120 minutes probably the other night, and we're hopeful that didn't play a part, but quite possibly it could have. It's really disappointing for him. He's a key cog in what we're doing, both on and off the pitch, and we're hopeful that it's not as bad as possibly it looks on first viewing.